Hello everyone, this is the fourth video of the Social Change Creatively series. I am Rukhsi from Creatifecundity Incorporated. In this video, I am going to be sharing about economic social change starting from our community councils that I have elaborated on in previous videos in this series. The economic struggles that I have encountered as a minority woman, small business owner, are being reinforced by governmental institutions and businesses. For example, current local and state governmental programs for small businesses only economically support those small businesses established on or before March 2019. Yet they completely ignore small businesses that were established before or during the pandemic of 2020 last year. Likewise, businesses such as large corporations who claim to economically support financially struggling minority-owned small businesses have several burdensome and cumbersome stipulations, much like New York City's and New York State's Minority Women Business Enterprise Certification application process. These stipulations require small businesses to have earned a certain level of income before they receive economic support. However, they do not even take into consideration that minority women-owned small businesses can have originated from owners who were economically struggling for several years prior to incorporating and launching their small businesses. And they do not even consider how the pandemic exacerbated the economic conditions of these minority women small business owners. And this applies to every member of our society who is economically struggling. The situation is similar to if you remember back to when you were a baby, or you recall watching infants and babies. They are not able to survive without the support of their mothers and caretakers. That is the same for those of us who have brought small businesses into the world. They are not able to be supported and able to survive and thrive without community, corporate, and governmental support. It really is a shameful and miserable situation that we who are economically struggling minority small business owners continue to endure on a daily basis. It showcases the inability and ineptitude of our current political and economic institutions to serve us. And then we have these same institutions such as tax and finance departments causing bankruptcy by taxing us amounts that we cannot afford. It is time for us to change this unfair and unjust state of affairs. And we can do so by imposing taxes on all governmental, economic, and administrative leadership until all our social issues are addressed. Our current institutions follow the trend of support for the wealthy and services centered to cater towards the wealthy and financially prosperous. Yet they are nowhere near serving the needs of those living at or below the poverty line. Take into account the four prominent tax accounting corporations such as PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst & Young, Deloitte, and KPMG. They only engage in multi-million and billion-dollar contracts. Yet they do not focus on those who barely earn a penny and scrape by. For economic, racial, and gender equality and justice, we can no longer allow this miserable situation to continue without redress. Earlier in this video series, I identified imagination as leading us into a society and world in which we can live healthily and happily. Coming back to this imagination, I can see this miserable economic situation addressed through our community councils, where each of us emphasizes a focus on relieving the economic struggles of every individual in our neighborhoods and local communities. We will draw in people from our neighboring communities and localities with the resources, and we will address no and low income situations of our local community and neighborhood residents. Our emphasis must be on finding each member of our local and neighboring residential areas who is at or below the poverty line. Regardless of their family situations, we need to focus on these individuals who are in economic hardship. If every one of our neighborhoods and local communities focuses on our no and low income community members, we will be able to begin relieving the suffering that they have endured. We need to reverse economic investments from financially prosperous corporations and institutions and instead into impoverished neighborhood and community members. We need to reverse the process by investing into our impoverished community and neighborhood members, because the wealthy and prosperous are financially independent and able to afford not only necessities but amenities and luxuries, whereas those who are at or below the poverty line can barely have enough to survive. It is time now for us to address the economic woes of our neighbors and local community members, for us to have economic fairness and justice. Post in the comments below or make your own video responses on how we can support and raise our fellow neighborhood and local community members in economic hardship to a position of equitable prosperity. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. I leave you with community, change poverty.